Hello, how are ya? Wanted to come on and talk a little bit about the energies because I don't know if y'all have been feeling this shift, but it feels like the energy is finally fucking moving and we can just get rolling full steam ahead on really like everything that we've been integrating since November and really just go full steam ahead. Mars just ingressed into Virgo, and so, we're like ready to get to work and put a plan of attack together and make the shit happen, because Mars in Virgo is just a fucking workhorse and it's just willing to work to make it happen. And Virgo, I always explain Virgo is the day-to-day disciplines, devotions, routines, the day-to-day life that you are living that supports your overall success. So Virgo sets you up for Capricorn. And if we take it back one step and go to the other earth sign, Taurus teaches you how to have internal foundations of safety, security, support, abundance for you to then take action from Virgo and then to really achieve the overarching success. So we're talking about Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, second house, sixth house, 10th house. And the 10th house is your most public facing success and trajectory. It is like your legacy. It is what you're here to leave behind. It is like your overall purpose and mission. And so when you have strong foundations within yourself, you have the discipline and the work ethic to execute, your success is inevitable. And so, really, if you want to look at this from like your birth chart perspective, like what are the foundations of your moon? How are you executing on your Mars to get to your Saturn? Like essentially, like that's how I would describe it. It's like what are you internally embodied in, and then how are you executing, getting things done in your behaviors in order to really achieve your passion, your purpose, and have all this success. And we are like 6 months through the year, and it's really crazy because it really feels like the year is just kind of beginning in a lot of ways. And I know for me, like I feel like a completely different person. And with that, like my goals have shifted, my desires have shifted, and really the ways in which I operate are different, and even just the way that I see, view, and value myself is different. And so we've had going all the way back to November up until now, which will continue into July, every single outer planet will have shifted, which is crazy. It's very rare to have all of the outer planets shift at once. And so as above, so below. And so with so much, we can see it collectively playing out, like how all of this energy shifting has manifested in the real world, but it also means it needs to be integrated within your body. And so we've needed to transform a lot internally to really now move ahead on this like new version of ourselves. But because we've shifted so much internally, it's like the external is we've had to like calibrate internally before we could then take action externally, if that makes sense. And so there has been this like kind of like sludgy energy up until now, really. And all of these outer planets are shifting from like earth and water, with exception of Jupiter, have shifted from like earth and water into now air and fire. And so like Uranus is going to be moving into Gemini. That's going to be a massive shift. Saturn and Neptune went from Pisces to Aries, and Pluto went from Capricorn to Aquarius. So all of that energy, like air and fire, my chart is all in air and fire. It's a way different energy than earth and water, right? It is lightning. It is a rocket. It is a hot air balloon. It is fighting, right? It is explosive. It is intense. It is your mind, right? And it's like just louder energy. Like air and fire, like you can't shut me up sometimes, right? Like that's the energy. And so we're going from this more like introverted internal energy to much more extroverted life and reality. And I feel like I'm like, I've been telling all my friends, I'm like, my personality has come back online. Like, oh my God, and it is 11:11. As I say that, I'm like, oh my God, my like extroverted personality is back. And, but it's like, it's because we had to like go in, we had to go deep within to transform all of these emotional energies and really clear a lot of the cycles and a lot of the patterns from the past, because it's like the energy has shifted. I talked about this on my stories the other day, but it's like those cycles are now done. Like, we will come back and revisit them at the end of the year and beginning of next year. But like, once we come into like really February of next year, like we are going to be in this in completely different reality. And so use from now until like next February, when Saturn and Neptune conjunct in Aries, to like decide who you're going to be in this next iteration of your life and your reality. Because you can't bring those old parts with you. It's like those cycles are done. And so you like, how you transform and how you quantum shift is to no longer like vibrate and resonate at the level of your problems and patterns, right? And so if the old version of you related to relationship in a certain way, it's like, how does the new version of you actually relate to relationship? The version of you that's like a wife, or the version of you that's a mom, like how does that version of you relate to relationship? And confirmation. And so then you actually just have to come from that place, and then you can be a match to attract in the relationship, right? It's like going on a date from the energy of being a wife and a mother. You know what I mean? It's a very different energy, even though that might not be your external reality truth yet. But if it's your internal truth, then it has no choice but to manifest externally. And so it's about calibrating to it internally first, through your emotions and through your feelings. And so Jupiter in Cancer is supporting you and really nurturing and loving yourself in this new way that emotionally supports this new version of yourself, because everything is like a feeling. So it's like, if you want the external feeling of like being married, it's like you don't actually want the marriage. You want to feel like the safety and the security and the love that you think that marriage will bring you, right? And so it's about energy first, right? It's like the frequency first. And so if you want to be rich and famous, like, you know how, like I always say I have like a knack for seeing stars. Like I know if someone's going to blow up before they blow up, right? Because it is an energy, right? It is a frequency. I've been able to do this since I was a little kid. Like I always know before someone's going to pop off that they're going to be like a star. I'm like, that person is a star. Right? I'm like, this person's gonna win the American Idol because that person is a fucking star, right? Look at this. Goosebumps. It's because they were a star before they were actually a star, right? They were internally calibrated to it before everyone found out who the fuck they were, right? It's like, can we be a supermodel before we walk the fucking runway, right? Like that is just like a Star is Born energy. Like the star wasn't born when they walked the runway. The star was born before they walked the runway, right? They were discovered to get to the runway, you know? And so that's the vibe. That's the energy. It's like your new level requires you to embody a different energy. And so it's about becoming the star within, like releasing your inner diamond. And for me, like I always knew that there was like this inner star and this inner diamond internally within myself. I just didn't know how to liberate her, right? Because we get so programmed from our conditioning and our patterns and our limiting beliefs and whatever, right? And so it's about internally feeling and healing those emotional energies from our past, right? Cancer, I call them the Cancer clingers, right? As we come into Cancer season, the summer solstice on the 20th, which the sun is then going to be in, basically, because think about this energy of the sun. The sun, what does it do? It radiates light, right? And so it is basically highlighting this Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune square that we've been in for the last like week and a half. Actually, the Jupiter square Neptune energy is exact today. And so basically it's putting a spotlight on the square, and squares are friction, right? And squares cause tension, which create change. And so it's really highlighting this need to emotionally nurture and support yourself in new ways, and emotionally and internally calibrate to this new version of yourself, to this wife energy, to this mother energy, to this star energy, right? And that version of you is going to need new things from yourself. And it's really about your emotional foundations, which are the key and the launching pad for you to bloom and blossom into who you were born to be. So we've had Uranus moving through Taurus for the past 7 years, supporting you and finding new versions of safety within yourself, really liberating your divine feminine, really valuing your solidity, your softness as a feminine, connecting to your resourcefulness, your inner richness, your inner sense of security and stability, and really just you valuing yourself. And then with this Jupiter and Cancer energy, with this Cancer solstice, it's really about, okay, how do we emotionally support ourselves in this new version of ourselves, and what do we actually need to be emotionally projecting from our body, right? So think about the sun, shining out emotionally, to support ourselves into being our authentic self, right? And so you can really look at your moon for how you really can make yourself feel safe and secure and really tended to and loved on. Because when you have intimacy, and when you have intimacy with yourself, is really when you get to bloom and blossom into the best version of yourself, which is what Cancer represents. And surrounding yourself with the right people who really see you and value you and support you and becoming the person that you need, from an emotional place. That's what Cancer is about. And so we have a really beautiful new moon in Cancer next week, conjunct Jupiter. That is going to be just the start of this new version of you. So it's really beautiful energy, actually. And I think we've kind of gotten over a lot of the emotional intensity. I mean, it's been crazy things have been happening over here. But and now it's you can actually use this Saturn and Neptune and Aries to really envision a bigger future for yourself, and use Saturn to really commit to and have the structure and the systems and the support to, again, just going back to the beginning, bringing things full circle, to have that legacy and that success that you're here to have. And so, it's we're really just breaking free from our past, because Cancer can really cling and hold on to what felt safe and secure. And so this is why I always talk how the body is so important in creating quantum shifts and manifesting a new reality, because you have to feel different feelings. And so much of our conditioning is just feeling. So it's if you are used to, again, relating to, let's just say, a relationship from a place of anxious attachment, right? You literally have to break that feeling within your body and know how to bring yourself to a place of safety and security, right? Because when you feel safe and secure, you're not coming to a relationship from a place of anxious attachment. When you're solid within yourself, then you're attracted to someone else, and you're a match for someone who actually mirrors your inner solidity. And your relationship patterns completely shift because you broke up with the version of yourself that related to relationship from a place of anxiousness. And so, again, it's all about your emotional foundations within. This is what I've had to master. I have a Jupiter conjunct Chiron in my 6th house. Literally, this is everything that I've had to move through and master within myself, to have new foundations within, and know how to emotionally nurture myself to shift my results, shift my reality. And confirmation. And so we're really calling in new levels of support within ourselves, because where you're going and all you're blooming and blossoming and becoming is going to need new levels of support and new emotional foundations. And so, I think women, men too, but most of us aren't living as full, rich, beautiful lives as we could, because we miss the emotional regulation and the emotional support part, because it's really just about meeting your inner needs. When your inner needs are sourced, you're free to become whoever the fuck you want. And so, but it's like when your emotional needs are not met, when your safety is not met, your entire focus, your entire personality is developed through those survival patterns. And so when you can break free of survival, you're free to become whoever the fuck you want. And then that's where you can go fuck shit up and be amazing and authentic and fully expressed in your authenticity. So it's about learning how to meet your emotional foundations, self-soothe, self-source, and really just be the powerful woman that you're here to be, and unleash and unlock your inner fucking superstar, your inner fucking supermodel, and be the diamond who radiates their heart out for everyone to see. And that's where life gets to be so much more magical and magnetic. So I really think that this is some magical, juicy energy that we're coming into. And so enjoy this energy. And if you want to dive deeper or further into your own energy to unleash your own inner superstar, you can book a session with me. I'm also enrolling in my one-on-one coaching, which we do the deep dive work to really liberate who you are born to be. Everything I do is astrology guided, of course, but we also move through the body stuff, the personal development stuff, the identity development stuff, and I give you really tangible takeaways and action steps for you to implement to create 3D shifts, because the spiritual, the 5D shit don't matter unless you're getting 3D results. So sending you all my love, and go out and make some magic happen, Bye, guys.